Just got some of that sweet, sweet ultimate delta divergence coming from the ultimate delta indicator, gold triangle. We had some single bar divergence on this candle. You can see the yellow inside right there. Point of control drawn up into this wick. Get the Heiken Ashi turning bearish here. Another point of control up into the top of the wick. So when we start breaking below the 20, we turn full bearish. Heiken Ashi, cumulative delta outline, moving average crossover. Just popped down over 7 points there. Moving average crossover background still bearish on the higher time frame, the 5 minute. We have point of control drawn up into this wick on the 5 minute, rejecting right off of the 20 SMA. This is a ton of divergence. I gotta say, this might be a little too much. But if you look on the 5 minute chart, we didn't have any divergence except for down here at the bottom and up here at the top. We finally got some on this top candle here, wicking off a VWAP on both the NQ and the ES. Then we've been getting a nice pullback. I did get short when the Heiken Ashi turned black, turned bearish, closing back below the VWAP. Got in a little short there, popped down 8 points. During this whole move, the Heiken Ashi was bullish, besides this tiny little bearish Heiken Ashi candle. But if you look at the price action on this thing, it's got a huge bottom wick, tiny little body, point of control in the wick. That is not a bearish candle. That's bullish all the way. Closing in on $100 per account here. London is going to open up in 20 minutes. We had a bunch of divergence building up here. Point of control drawn up to the tippy top of this wick, wicking off a VWAP. Got a nice rejection off of VWAP. Right down to the London Open. London Open held. Right back up to VWAP. Had some divergence on the ES 5 minute. Point of control up into these wicks. Also right at VWAP. Nice little pullback. This is all the per bar built-in ultimate delta divergence. If I wanted to see less of these divergence signals, I could put a look back period of 3 or more. I just took a short here with some delta divergence on this previous candle. We were coming up to pre-market high. The NQ delta had been coming in quite bullish, but the ES delta was not. I realized on my other 1 minute chart the reason I was getting so many gold divergences is because I had the divergence look back set at 1. I usually have it set at 2. So I moved it to 2 and the divergence is much more reasonable. I also started trading the RTY and the YM today. I took 2 or 3 winners on the RTY and a winning trade on the YM. And then I realized I did not have my REPLIKANTO set up for either of these two instruments. I only have it set up for MNQ, NQ, and ES. So I took the trades on the YM and the RTY, but they only showed up in the master account. So I'm up over 300 in the master account, and then I'm only up 150, 160 in my prop accounts because they didn't take those YM RTY trades. But now it's all set up, so should be good to go. I switched over to the multi-instrument setup here. I took a bounce trade off of yesterday's open and whole number on the YM, and on the RTY I took a bounce off of pre-market center. I also took a VWAP bounce. So I'm really enjoying having the key levels across multiple instruments. I've only got divergences set up on the NQ for this multi-instrument setup. The rest of the instruments I'm just looking for the colors to be in the same direction, and I'm looking for the key levels and checking out the delta. I did get a short on the NASDAQ at yesterday's high. We had the R1 pivot right above. Figured that'd be a good area for a little retracement. We popped down over 40 points from yesterday's high. We got the delta divergence building up here, and then we got some single bar divergence on this candle, and we broke higher. Popped up over 15 points since then. Got about 10 minutes until 10:30. I actually got up for the New York Open. Gonna go right back to sleep afterwards, but I randomly woke up at 10 minutes before the Open, logged in, did a little New York Open session. Definitely missed the New York Open sessions. Any day now, gonna get motivated to go to a different time zone. So I'm looking at the RTY, huge cluster of key levels down here. If we do make it down in this area, I'll probably go for a bounce trade long. Do like the idea of trying to get one more long in on the NQ sometime between now and 10:30. I just took a bounce trade at the pivot point here on the RTY. looking to ride it back up to VWAP. Just got a few points, like 20 bucks or something. The long is already happening on the NQ. Just got to bounce up off the 20. This is kind of making me miss the old days. It makes me want to get another screen and add 4 more different instruments on top of this. Just got into another short here. We had all systems bearish here, closing below the 20. Just popped down about 14 points. Got my full 10-point target. We also had divergence building up on the 5-minute back here, point of control up into the wick. Divergence building up on the ES as well, point of control up into the wick of this 5-minute candle. The delta outlines have been turning red on the ES. Grabbed another short here after this divergence. Delta started dropping off here. Delta candles turned red. Grabbed a little short, looking for it to retest whole number. We just popped down over 10 points. Friday afternoon, I think that's going to be it for me. Up a couple hundred on all the accounts, even though it should have been about double that if I would have been copy trading the YM and RTY trades. There are links to all the indicators in the description. Anyone that's out there using code MonkeyMan is the best. Thanks so much for the support. Best of luck in your trading. Have a great day.